Hey guys, Alan here with EatSleepTrade.net. Welcome to Lesson 5, how to use a stock screener and creating a watch list. Now, a watch list is one of the most important tools that a trader needs to be successful. There are thousands and thousands of stocks, and there's no way that you could effectively watch every single one of those. So we need to set up some guidelines that will reduce the amount of stocks that we're looking at. So the first thing we want to do is open up a web browser and go to finviz.com. Okay, so here we are, finviz.com. It's one of the best free screeners that you can find on the internet. As you can see right here on the main page, it's going to give you a breakdown of the top gainers, top losers, some new 52-week highs, some new 52-week lows, so on and so forth. So essentially, you could just come to finviz.com and create your watch list from this homepage if you wanted to. I like to get a little bit more technical than that. Not too much more, but a little bit. So what we want to do is come up here to the top and select groups. Now the groups is going to bring up sectors. Now these sectors are going to be listed in order of highest performance. If you're long biased like me, then you're going to want to trade stocks that are performing well. You're not going to want to be trading basic materials looking for a run up when the entire sector is not doing well. Now, does that mean that there's not a single stock in basic materials that can do well? Well, no, of course not. It just means the majority of them aren't doing well. So, looking up here at 1 day performance, you could see services up on top, utilities up on top, technology, then healthcare. So 1 day performance is the probably least relevant to me because I'm more swing trade versus day trade. So if you were a day trader, this might be more important to you, but since I'm more focused on swing trading, I'm looking for something that can run for a week or 2 weeks or 3 or 4 days, something that is going to run on a higher time frame than 15 or 30 minutes or 5 minutes, so on and so forth. So what I like to look at is 1 month performers and 3 month performers. So I look for the stocks that appear twice. So down here you could see healthcare, utilities, and services are our top 3 performers on a 3 month basis. And up on a 1 month basis, we have healthcare, services, and consumer goods. So you could see over the last 3 months, utilities have done very well. But over the last month, they've started to not do as well. So it's important to look at multiple time frames to make the best decisions. So today we're going to look at healthcare and services. We got the top 2 on 1 month, we got the top 3 on 3 month, and we've got the top 2 on 6 month. So 2 very strong sectors. Alright, so now that we've got our sectors picked out that we want to trade within, we're going to come back up to the top and come to the screener. So we'll click that, and it's going to bring you up a list of stocks. So 6,984 stocks. We're going to go to sector, and we're going to go to healthcare. Boom. And that's going to give us 676 stocks. So I want to cut it down. The first thing I want to do is go to average volume. I like to have at least over 1 million volume. This lets me know that there's plenty of shares trading, enough liquidity to get in and out of trades without getting stuck. And you can see that gives us 132. So we're getting a little bit better. Still probably too much. So we're going to go and just look at stocks that are under $10. Now, of course, you could base that off whatever you'd like. If you're not worried about the cost of a stock, then you could just leave that on any. That gives us 41, getting a little bit better. That's still, in my opinion, way too many stocks to try and watch. So we're going to come over and we're going to put a market cap and look at a small cap. Now, small cap stocks tend to run a little bit better and be a little bit more volatile. So we've got 23 stocks. Now, we're not going to add all 23 of these stocks to our watch list. What we're going to do is come over to performance. And of course, guys, you can add as many things on this as you want. You could see you can add a PE, you could add a 20-day high-low, you can add the price to be 10% above a 20-day simple moving average or 10% below the 20-day simple moving average. You could do different patterns. So if you want a wedge up, a wedge down, triangles, descending and ascending, channels, whatever you're looking for. It has so many options on here. And it also has the elite version, which increases all those options even beyond that. The free version does just fine for me, and I really just use this descriptive area because it has the exact things that I'm looking for. So after I get my parameters set, or my filters, I'm going to come over to performance. I'm going to go to 1 month and I'm going to put them in order from top performers. Now we look at this and we could see IDRA is up 50% this month. So that stock's already had a huge run. Typically I'm not looking to chase a stock that's already running. But you can see this one has already started to have a 3-day pullback. And if something like this decided it wanted to find some resistance and continue up, it could be something that you put on your watch list. So what I do is I go through this list and I look for stocks that have potential setups. So things that have ran up and then instead of crashing back down, they started to consolidate. So you can see OREX here. It's created a pretty nice channel. Maybe you're going to add some lines to this and wait for a breakout to the top or bottom. You can see NVAX, it's in a pretty decent uptrend, and we just broke a previous high. So definitely showing strength. So once we have a stock like this, who's up 10% on the week, 12% on the month, 24% on the quarter, 32% on the half, a stock that's really strong and the chart looks good, we're going to plug it into our charts and take a closer look at it. So here it is in VAX, and you could see that here was our low spot, and we've been riding right up on this for quite a while now. That's a pretty big range to try to train, but what I seen on FinViz when I was just looking at it is the close right above this resistance area. So this is what I would be looking at to trade this. We've got a break above this previous resistance, and I would be looking for a continuation run, probably up somewhere in this range right here. So $6.95, $7. So very nice setup right here. Something you would put on watch, buy, keep your stop. You could see volume is increasing right there. You could see the MACD has given a buy signal already, and we're early into this buy signal, so it's not like we've overran. On the RSI, you could see it's got high strength, but we are moving up to this overbought area. Typically, when you're in an overbought area, you're peaking out and getting ready for a pullback. Not necessarily. So this is definitely something that I would be looking for and wanting to add to my watch list, because I feel like this trade has good potential to it. Okay, so let's go back over to the screener. Okay, so we go through all these and we look for potential trade ideas. Then we draw our lines, and these lines will stay here as the stock develops, and we'll just make our or create our ideas off how the stock responds in the way we want it to respond. One of the things you don't want to do is change these lines once you draw them. Once you've decided I'm watching this uptrend, this resistance, and this next resistance, you don't want to move those out halfway through your idea or every single day as you're watching the list. You want to keep these relatively the same from when you added it to your watch list, so you can make sure that it's performing the way you wanted it to perform. Okay, so let's go back to FinViz. So we get through healthcare, and then we also wanted to look at, not industrial goods, but services. So we have them in order again, and we go through the charts and see what we can find, if they'll pop up. Always takes a second. There we go. So you could see CMLS. We've got some higher lows and higher highs. So that could be something you're interested in watching, either for a run back up to 415, 410, or a break above that area and a continuation. GOL, stock like this that has a lot of gaps, it's really choppy. In my opinion, just kind of hard to read, but you can see that it's in a pretty much of an uptrend, but very hard to read. Not something I would watch. OWW, NAT. So here's a nice stock. This is a stock that's in a continued uptrend. So you can see it's up on the month, the quarter, the half, the year. So that looks like it's a stock that has pretty good strength. So we're going to come back over to our charts and put that in. So you can see we had a downtrend. We broke above that downtrend, found resistance, pulled back, and then broke that resistance, confirm a new uptrend. So very good. We got one higher low, two higher lows, three higher lows, and now we've got a lower low right here. So this is not a confirmation that the trend broke because it came through this blue line. Remember, a trend is just to let you know which way the market is moving. It's not an exact number to the penny. So if that were to, if you drew this trend line off these 2 points and the next day it came down and tapped it, you'd be like, oh yeah, I'm so good. But that's how charts work. So you can see the huge sell-off, then a nice recover, and then some consolidation right here. So we'd be looking for maybe a 2 or 3 days down or sideways, and hopefully another pop up. We add these areas of resistance so we know what we're looking at and the potential room that we have to run. So we could add that one to our watch list. Okay. So that's how I use FinViz and find stocks that I want to trade. I try to take advantage of the market momentum, trade stocks that are in a sector that is doing well, and then a stock that itself is doing well also. And it's got a good chart set up. We put it on our watch list, and we see if there's any opportunities that arise through the week. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future videos. Also, check out my website, eatsleeptrade.net. You can find everything compiled into a easy to find library as well. From there you can follow me on Twitter and stay up to date on stocks that I'm watching and trading. Alright guys, thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next video.